Hey, what's going on there? YouTube land, Facebook land. Happy Monday. Jay Chantalancy here, energy healer. Welcome to the Ripple Effect of Healing show. I am streaming live on YouTube and our Emotion Ally Facebook group. So if you're tuning in from any of those spots, let me know. Comment below. Let me know that you're on live with me. I appreciate your presence. So I do this show every Monday night at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, and I talk about different things that pertains to self-healing, self-care, spirituality stuff, right? So like I said, every Monday night I'm here, and we have these type of conversations. So if you think this is valuable, please share, please subscribe to the channel, help spread the message of healing, right? Heal people. So if we can get together and spread the good word, more healing can happen. Awesome. All right, so tonight is episode 10, the Ripple Effect of Healing, episode 10, and tonight's topic is all about awareness. Okay? When we start the healing journey, we have to have awareness, right? In my own personal healing journey, I was not aware for a long time because I was very emotionally unavailable, emotionally disabled, unable to express my emotions, feel, console, anyone that was crying, including my daughter and my fiance, girlfriend at the time, now wife, right? It was hard. It was hard for me to have this awareness because I was so into myself. I was so blocked by my ego. I was so blocked by my pride. A lot of trauma that happened in my childhood. If you've been following me, you know the story. But it took a lot for me to overcome and then create and have that awareness, right? And we all have been there. We all can say that there was a time where we didn't listen to nobody, right? I know you guys on the other side of the screen shaking your head, nodding with me like, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that's right. All right? We have been in those relationships. We have been in those situations where it don't matter who is talking in your ear. It could be your mother. It could be your best friend. It could be a pastor, whoever. It goes in one ear, out the other. Because we don't have that awareness, right? We have that selective hearing and only listen to things that we want to listen to. And in those times of being unconscious and unaware, we don't listen to nothing. Right? We don't listen to nothing. How many of us have had that friend, that one friend that is always in like an abusive relationship? It could be verbal, physical, emotional abuse. And it doesn't matter what you say to them. It don't matter. They're not going to listen, right? You could be spewing and talking and giving your energy of love and support. Nothing. Right? They go right back to the relationship like nothing happened. And this is over time and time and time again that they've been hurt. Right? No awareness. And unfortunately with this topic, right? Because it's so important. I really think and believe that self-awareness should be like an addictive drug, right? Because you not only start to know yourself and know your boundaries and start to realize what's good and what doesn't serve you, but you start to have the awareness with your surroundings, the people around you, the situations you get yourself into, the choices that you make, right? This comes from awareness, and like I said, I'm guilty. I wasn't aware for a long time. Okay. I had so many situations and incidences where if I was just aware and took the time to think things through, listen to my intuition, or even just listen to the people around me, it would have turned out way different. It would have turned out probably 1,000 times better, but we don't. We don't, right? We have this pride and ego. We think we know it all. We don't want to listen, especially if you have that type of relationship with your best friend or your siblings or, whoever. That dynamic relationship doesn't do anything, right? I mean, I talk to even my older sister and nothing, it's just, it just goes over her head, But like I said, people in this being unaware and unconscious of things, it's no use. It is no use. And unfortunately, the only time people start to listen and create and have this awareness is when something catastrophic happens, right? When something tragic happens, and then they wake up, right? They have this spiritual or mental awakening, emotional awakening, because they've just had it, right? They can't take it no more. It's either they're burnt out, they're emotionally burnt out, they're spiritually burnt out, they're physically tired, and their body's like, I can't do this no more. Their mind is just incapacitated. They can't even think straight, and they become numb. We don't want to go there. You don't want to get to that point of feeling and being numb, right? So how do we create this awareness, right? How do we start this healing journey and start to become aware? Self-care, right? We can create and start to have more awareness through self-care. And just listening to our body, listening to our intuition. And that could be hard because most of us who are riddled with trauma, we actually tend to hold on to the pain and suffering, right? We are addicted to our own suffering. And we know deep down inside that shit's bad for us, right? But yet we just hang on to dear life, to this suffering, because that's what we know is normal. Okay? That's what we've been conditioned with. And that's why it doesn't matter who comes in and tells you, hey, this is wrong. You shouldn't be treated that way. You know that, right? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing will happen, right? They're going to go through their emotions. They're going to suppress it. And they're going to go back to that relationship or back to that situation like nothing happened, right? And then maybe time passes, 5-10 years go down the line, and then boom, it comes to a breaking point. And what happens at the breaking point? What happens when you cannot take it anymore? What happens when your soul is screaming at you and telling you, what the F are you doing? We need to be better. We need to do better, right? Then we start to just peel back those layers of unconsciousness and start questioning ourselves. Wait a second. Yeah, I don't feel this is right for me. I shouldn't be treated this way. Why am I in this situation all the time? Why do I keep attracting the same type of person? Why do I keep liking being verbally abused? Why was that even normal for me, right? When you start to be aware, you start to question a lot of things. You start to question your environment. You start to question the people around you. And unfortunately, some of the people are the closest to you, right? Your parents, your spouse, even some of you, even your religion, this is where this awareness is so important to cultivate, because it will make you look at your life, do some introspection, and start to question what is right for you. And everyone is different. Everyone comes from different backgrounds, different religious beliefs, different experiences, right? So whatever is right for you might not be right for, the person next to you. But when you start to question yourself and start to really look deep down and ask yourself those questions, is this right for me? Right? Is this serving me? Am I wasting my energy? Do I feel good in this situation? Right? When you start to ask yourself and question yourself, that's when those sparks happen. That's when the awareness starts to get activated, you know? And then you start to do small little things for yourself. You start to do these small little promises, like Dr. Nicola Paris says, of self-care. You start to take care of yourself. You start to not look externally, right? And you start to look internally. Like, why is this affecting me? Why am I getting triggered so much that I get so angry? Right? For me, anger was a normal thing. It was a go-to emotion if someone asked me, how do you feel? That was the only thing I knew how to express, right? And the form of expression of anger came in a variety of behaviors, right? I would be very passive aggressive. I would shut down. I wouldn't say anything. If I get really angry, I would start to yell and just say some stupid shit. I would start to, say things that I can't take back because I just get into this rage. Those things happen. Those things can occur. And at that point, it's like we lost our own awareness. We don't know what's going on. Right? We've gone beyond the line. And then we're just numb at that point, right? Some of us even black out, so we don't even remember what happened, right? So in my own personal experience, when I had to go through that journey of understanding my anger and what it truly was and why it triggered me so much, I start to ask those questions. Like, why am I so damn angry? Why can't I express my emotions in a very healthy way? Why can't I console my daughter who is crying? Like, why do I tell her to stop crying? Like, why is that? Right? And you start to listen and start to understand and learn about all these things, because now your curiosity is firing off, and then your awareness starts to fire off, and then you start to really look deep down inside and ask those why questions. Most of our external world is a reflection of our internal world, right? So all the things that was happening to me externally and all the relationships that I was attracting, that shit came from inside of me. I had to do right for me inside. My inner engineering was like off, right? And like I said, to have this and create the awareness, it's going to take a lot, because we've been so conditioned with all of that trauma. We've been so conditioned in all of the years that people were telling us things and, making us believe things about ourselves, and all the, things that happen in our lives that kind of shaped, our belief systems and made us even forget who we really are, right? I mean, when you're on this healing journey, you're going to have to start to peel back on so many things in your life. And it's going to definitely going to be a journey, right? But the initial step is to have that awareness. And if you think just a little bit that something is up, right? Something is definitely not right, follow that feeling. Okay, like if you get upset and then you say some things, and then after you get upset and all the energy is suppressed or gone away, you get this gut feeling like, oh man, I fucked up. I shouldn't have said that. All right? If you get that feeling, follow it. Ask yourself the question, like, why did I blow up so much? Why did I say the things that I said? And I felt guilty about it. Because deep down inside, you know you're not like that. You know you're not like that. I knew that I wasn't like that. But it was just, how am I going to get deeper into that answer for me? Right? No one taught me this. No one, came and said, hey, Jay, this is what you should do. I had to learn this on my own. Of course, with the help of my wife at the time too. But a lot of meditation, a lot of introspection, a lot of self-care, made me had to realize like these deeper triggers inside of me that made me behave and act and say the things that I said, right? I mean, I had to unlearn a lot of things, and I had to learn a lot of things. I mean, my emotions vernacular and vocabulary was zero. Like I didn't know how to express any emotions, none whatsoever. I mean, except anger and sadness and frustration, right? But there's a whole bunch of different other emotions, right? I couldn't even express I feel statements, like nothing. I would just sit there, and when my wife was like, what do you feel? Like, what are you thinking? I would just shut down. That was me. I would just shut down. And I knew deep down inside that something has to give. I can't live like this anymore. Right? I can't continue to treat the people that I love the way I treated them when things got hard, when we had difficult conversations, when emotions and feelings were being expressed. Because I felt uncomfortable around people who were expressing their emotions. Like I would get into this tiger mode, like man the fuck up, attitude, right? And that can only work X amount of time. You know what I mean? Like you can't use that on everybody, And this is where emotional intelligence and self-awareness comes in. They go hand in hand, right? And when you start to have this deep awareness for yourself, things will start to change miraculously. Like it's like night and day, and I was just talking to my wife about this, earlier today, like the more I become aware, the more patient I become, the more compassionate I can see different situations, the more understanding that I have for people and the way they respond and the way, they look at certain situations, right? I'm not quick to react, right? I mean, I even kind of like it a little bit because I don't respond right away. Because before, when I wasn't aware, when I was unconscious about things, I would respond and spew shit out of my mouth like it was, very ignorant stuff. Like I look back at myself, I'm like, damn, I was very ignorant. I would say some stuff that just, it's just like you don't think about it, and it's because of this ego and what you've been accustomed to, right? And all of this pride that I had, it would just come out. Not understanding how it could affect people around me, how it could have made them feel. I wasn't aware of my tone of voice, my nonverbal body language, like none of that. Like it just, automatic, right? And we have that. Most of us have that type of reaction, right? That automatic reaction based on all of the trauma that we carry, right? So when you start to create and have this awareness, pay attention. Listen a little bit. Listen to your body. Listen to how you feel. Listen to those people around you. If like three or four of your closest, people that are around you are telling you the same thing, maybe it's time for you to pay attention. Maybe it's time for you to kind of like take a step back and kind of look into yourself and say, all right, I mean, these three people are saying the same thing. Like these three people are saying like, I should get out of this relationship. Why are you in this relationship? Or, why are you so angry? Like, listen, right? And it's going to be tough because it's going to go against what you believe. That's the hard part. It goes against what you intrinsically believe for yourself. But even that intrinsic feeling and belief system is flawed because it wasn't even yours to begin with. That trauma was implanted inside of you, right? I always say the trauma didn't start with you, but your healing is your responsibility. And if you're at that point where you have the awareness and like, okay, I need to heal. how can I start? What can I do? Awareness, beloved. Awareness. You have to increase that awareness. Meditation is a phenomenal tool to create more of this awareness. You know, the clarity that you get in solitude with yourself, it will open up doors and understanding about you that was probably tucked away for many, 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 many years, right? We just weren't taught this stuff, you know? No one comes into your life, you know, like when you were younger, experiencing a trauma and telling you this is what you need to do. So, and don't feel guilty because you didn't know at the time, right? If you're at that point right now, no matter how old you are, it's great. Start the journey right now, okay? I'm about to be 40 next month, you know, and I wish I started this journey, you know, earlier. But it's okay. Everyone does it in their own divine timing. Have a little bit of grace for yourself and understand that it was meant so that you had to go through all this to learn all your lessons and then be better, right? It's always good to be better. And we can always start anytime. And this healing journey is a journey, damn it. You know, it's not a sprint, you know, that'll get you from point A to point B in like 5 weeks. All right, that's none of that. Okay, I mean, just think about how long it took you to come to this point, to have this type of mindset and carry all of these traumas and energy and negative energies. You think it's gonna take you, you know, 1 week, 5 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, 8 months, a year to fully get, you know, heal from all that? I still have things that come up for me. And this is what I do, you know. I help people with emotional trauma and I still have things that come up for me. But now when they come up, oh, it feels like refreshing. Because now I get to really look inside of myself. Now I get to really dissect and understand and try to, you know, kind of connect all the pieces together, you know. When my triggers come up or when thoughts and, you know, old traumas come up, I really take time in my own silence and try to figure out, okay, I'm being triggered. What triggered me? Was it a word? Was it a nonverbal cue? Was it a memory? You know? And when you go down deep in this self-awareness, ooh, it's going to change your world. You know, it's gonna help you protect your energy. It's gonna help you create amazing boundaries, right? It's gonna help you to be able to respond effectively rather than react unconsciously. Okay, let me say that one more time. When you have self-awareness, it's gonna help you to respond effectively rather than react unconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Like, those of us that react automatically and unconsciously, you know, because after you say your shit or, you know, you did something, you get straight into the, oh, why did I do that? Like, why did I even say that? Or why did I even agree to that? Right? Lack of self-awareness. But if you are aware and you take your time and you get to have this moment to yourself in silence before you even respond, then you can kind of collaborate or, you know, with your own self, your true self, your authentic self, your inner self, and say, okay, is this going to serve me? Should I do this? Right? Do I have time? Is it going to take a lot of my energy? Should I set up a boundary? Right? You're going to start to go through these internal questions. And you're gonna see, you're gonna actually feel and understand this inner conversation you have with your higher self and your ego. And when you get to that point, oh man, it's amazing, you know. And me having practiced for quite some time now, when I talk to specific people or certain people, even some of my clients, you know, I like observing. I like watching them as they speak to me. I'm a very good listener. My wife will tell you. But I listen to hear the specific things that they're trying to say within themselves. And I love that. Because when people talk, I can actually see who is talking, like their true selves or their ego. And sometimes it's like a juggle, right? Especially if it's a situation that they're getting stressed out about, and most people don't even know, and they just keep talking and talking and talking. That's why people talk and ramble on, and then they lose themselves in their conversation. They forget what they talked about, and they tangent and divert so far that they forgot what the point was, right? And that's ego. Your higher self is like, okay, we need to heal, but your ego's like, nah, you don't need to. Let me come up with all these stories about all these things so that you can get off track. Right? And it's incredible, some of the conversations that I get to observe, right? And I help clients come back to themselves, and I help them get the right answers. Because we all have this internal conversation, right? But if you have awareness, beloveds, if you create this awareness inside of you, you can negate the length of that conversation into very shorter moments. So then you can respond effectively, right? And in any type of relationship, even the relationship with yourself, the most important thing is the communication, right? If you're in a relationship with someone else, the communication is so important. You need to be able to read your person that you're in the relationship. You're supposed to be able to read and understand how they feel, what they're saying, right? Emotional intelligence has to be up there, right? And even if you have a relationship with yourself, your self-talk, your own self-talk. Okay, how do I differentiate from my ego and my higher self? Right? Is this coming from my ego mind? Is this coming from a trauma, inner child? Or is this coming from who I really am? And it's going to be amazing, the things that you're going to actually be able to uncover when you can navigate through those conversations, especially the conversations you have with yourself. Right? And that only comes from awareness, beloveds. Awareness. Okay? So, if you're there, if you know you want to start this healing journey, I empower you and I encourage you to create more of this awareness. If you've been feeling for a long time like something has to give, I can't do this no more. I can't, I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. All right. That's the first step. Okay. You're exhausted. You can't do this no more. How am I going to change? Ask yourself some questions. Start doing things to create that awareness. Start meditating. Start journaling. Start going out for walks by yourself so you can be in that solitude. Right. Because when you have that solitude, more things will come up. Clarity, introspection, right? Triggers. Ooh, yeah. The triggers. Once you understand your triggers, that's where things get spicy, right? Because you're going to start to realize like, wait, I'm getting triggered by that and it's not even other people's fault. It's because I've been feeling this way for a long time. Bam. It's like a light bulb's going to go out and you're going to see the light. And then you're going to start on this, healing yourself and understanding and having more compassion and empathy for yourself. And then you can forgive yourself. And that's when everything starts to happen, and then you can just live your life beautifully, abundant, happy, joyful, right? And we all deserve it. You deserve it. Okay. So first step for the healing journey, awareness. Okay. Awareness. And you can do that by meditating. You can do that by journaling, listening to the closest people to you, right? If they're saying the same things, maybe it's about time to listen. If your body is speaking to you and you're tired all the time and you feel exhausted, it's about time we listen. Okay? And it's about time we make some small changes to increase that awareness so you can go forward with the healing journey. All right? So, that is it for today's The Ripple Effect of Healing show. It's all about awareness. Go into the comments. Hey, what's going on, everybody from Facebook and YouTube? Lexi, Doris, Martha, how are you, beloveds? Good to see you. Wendy, awesome. Kylie, yes, your healing is your responsibility. I see you. Yes. So I'm actually going to be live streaming on both sides on our Facebook page. If you're on YouTube and you haven't joined our Facebook group, please join. It's open to everybody. We share a lot of amazing information about healing there and self-care. We have about 520 people in there, which we're so proud of, right? It's a very safe space to be vulnerable if you need a lot of support. And if you're from the Facebook side, please subscribe to the channel, right? The Ripple Effect of Healing. Share it to people. Let people know about it. I had the honor and blessing to co-host a powerful room on Clubhouse today. Actually earlier today, with Jen Choi, and it was about generational trauma. And it was wow. Just I got emotional. I can feel people's pain and suffering and realizations and just their healing, right? I mean, the people's stories were so incredibly powerful and they were so vulnerable, and we were just holding space for them, right? And I think it's great to be included in some of these communities, and that's what we want to build for our Facebook group. We want to hold space so that you feel comfortable, safe, that you can be vulnerable, because most of us, we carry a lot, right? And when we carry a lot, it can feel lonely. I get it. I mean, when I was in the depths of my despair and sorrow, I felt like no one understood me. I felt like no one's gonna be here for me, but that's not the case. All right, so definitely come join us in our Facebook group. Like I said, you can even follow us and follow me on TikTok. We're gonna be creating rooms in Clubhouse if you're on Clubhouse as well. We're just gonna try to create a whole bunch of channels that people can access. Us, my wife and I, or just the information of healing, right? Some of us don't even know, and some of us don't know where to start. So, we're here. I'm here. Ask me questions or contact me. I'm here to help you out. Or if you want to have a chat, you can always set up a 15-minute call as well. And just understand and remember that you're not alone in this journey. All right? But awareness is key. Okay? Awareness is very, very important. And once you're aware, you're off. You're off to a great start after that. All right, so thank you so much once again. Thank you for joining me. Those that are joining me live right now, Nikita, I see you. Facebook users, I don't see your names on here. You'd have to click for StreamYard to give me permission to see. All I see is different comments from the Facebook side. But those of you that are, on the Facebook, I see you. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, we do this every Monday night, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Specific topics. If you want me to talk about specific topics, let me know. Send me a message and I'll do my best to talk about it. All right. So I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much. I love all your faces. And remember to protect your energy at all costs. Protect your energy at all costs. All right. Take care. Peace.